The Creative Pixel family are building blocks for installation projects. These building blocks vary in size, style, and pixel pitch. For more information, please review our previous videos where we introduce you to the Creative Pixel line of products. The Creative Pixel line of products can be driven by a DMX controller for small applications. For smaller shows or shows that just require basic RGB control, the Creative Pixel range of products are compatible with DMX systems. In such applications, only a 48-volt DC power supply, such as the Martin IP66 PSU, is needed. Alternatively, the P3 power port can also be used as a 48-volt DC power supply without P3 control. With DMX, there are two types of modes. RGB, where there are 3 channels for the entire grid or strip, and Pixel, where RGB control per pixel is up to 192 channels. However, make note, on the VC Grid 15, the DMX Pixel control mode is limited to a cluster of 4 LEDs, as DMX does not offer enough control channels. In small applications, a DMX-controlled Creative Pixel installation can be supplied with DC power from a Martin IP66 power supply unit as mentioned before. However, power can also be supplied from a generic external PSU that can supply DC power at 48 volts. The hardware and cables required are slightly different depending on which type of PSU you use to supply the installation with DC power and the type of Creative Pixel. If you are using a Martin IP66 PSU, you will want to connect the VC grids and the VC strips together in daisy chains using Martin hybrid PCB to PCB cables. With the VC dot, you will need to supply DC power to a VC feeder and then to the VC dots. The VC feeder is a smart multi-protocol driver box for the VC dot series. A compact design and an IP65 rating make it perfectly suited for installations close to the string of VC dots. The VC feeder provides the string with clean, regulated power even if the power supply is located far away. Remember that all of the Creative Pixel products cannot be hot plugged, so make sure the power is turned off before connecting or disconnecting the products. Make sure you do not exceed the maximum permitted number of modules per chain, and do not allow the total length of the cables used in a linked chain to be exceeded. Do not exceed the PSU's maximum power rating. Each time you exceed the maximum ratings as specified, you must create a new chain of modules that is connected to a new 48-volt DC PSU. Reference the particular user manual for the Creative Pixel products for this information. Next, we want to connect the hybrid to PCB adapter cable to the first module of the string of the VC grid or the VC strip. If necessary, you can extend the cable run by connecting a Martin 4-pin XLR hybrid extension cable to the hybrid to PCB adapter cable for the VC grid or the VC strips. For the VC dots, connect the VC feeder using an IP65 cable. These cables come in a variety of lengths. If you are using a Martin IP66 PSU, you will need an IP66 hybrid lead-in cable for the VC grids and the VC strips. Connect the 4-pin female XLR connector of the hybrid lead-in cable to the 4-pin male connector on the hybrid to PCB adapter cable or on the hybrid extension cable if you have extended the hybrid link. For the VC dots, the cable connection is similar. However, it is a 5-pin XLR plus IP66 power to IP65 adapter cable. Connecting the cable to the power IP66 power supply and then connecting the appropriate end of the cable to the IP65 cable lead-in to the VC feeder. Now, if you are using a generic 48-volt DC power supply, you will need to use a hybrid DC lead-in cable instead of the standard hybrid lead-in cable used for the IP66 PSU. Also, if the PSU you are using does not have constant overcurrent protection that will limit current to 8 amps, install an inline fuse holder with a 7.5 amp or 8 amp fuse on the white power wire of the hybrid lead-in cable. Connect the white wire to positive and the black wire to negative. Next, regardless of whether you use an external power supply or the IP66 PSU to power your Creative Pixel modules, you will need to connect the 5-pin male XLR connector on the hybrid lead-in cable to a DMX link that carries the DMX signal from an RDM-compliant DMX controller. Next, you will install a mains power cable on the IP66 PSU or generic 48-volt DC power supply and connect it to the AC mains power. You will apply AC mains power to the DMX controller, and now you can configure the system.